as Garzone will take her time and initiate this Indiana possession. Behind the back dribble, steps back, left wing three. Oh, that was nasty! Yarden Garzone lost her defender and drained a 30-foot three on the left wing. 59-57 USC leads, and an offensive foul on the other end. Possession has been all Ohio State. Here comes Dukovic again. It's a 1-on-5. Schluter now on the left side. Schluter cuts to the outside. Comes to a stop, turns around, in for Dukovic. Dukovic wide open and fires it past Gerstenberg for the first goal of the night. So now Hanley's going to be thinking about swinging away 3-1 because you're likely going to see a pitch to hit from Aoki. Taylor leads off of second with Indiana leading 7-3. And Hanley puts a charge into this one out to deep right center field. It is gone! Well, he got a pitch to hit on a 3-1 count, and he sent it a long way. Indiana leads 9-3 on the two-run bomb from Hanley. And USC extends the lead 50-46, 4:11 to go in the third quarter. Bargesser knifing her way through traffic, kicks it out to Parrish on the right wing, passes up a three-point look, and Moore McNeil swings it to Garzone on the left wing. Garzone driving through traffic, puts it up, and she'll be at the line for two shots.
It's a great drive to draw a foul from Garzone. And I think a smart foul because Garzone is good finishing from the left to the right side on that right hand.
Garzone on the day, 9 points, 3 of 7 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3. Last time against USC, not the greatest of days. Shot 3 for 17 from the field and 2 for 11 from 3, and she hits the first free throw.
And that was also kind of in the middle of a slump for her. She has really turned on another gear in the last couple of games, the last couple of weeks of this season.
Garzone has reached the double-figure mark today, her 10th point on that first free throw. She knocks down the second, so has 11. And Indiana cuts the lead for USC back to 2. It's 50-48 Trojans with under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Von Oelhoffen gets things going for the Trojans between the circles, gives to Watkins left wing. Watkins awaiting a screen from Iriafen, ignores it, gives off to Iriafen at the top of the key. She swings a pass to Von Oelhoffen, who will let it fire from the right wing, and Moore McNeil crashes the glass on the rebound. The shot missed strong, and Moore McNeil comes the other way for Indiana. Hoosiers looking to tie or take the lead on this possession as Moore McNeil penetrates the lane, kicks back out to Bargesser right wing. Bargesser driving right baseline, stopped by Howell, and stepped on the boundary. No, a double dribble, a carry on Bargesser.
Yeah, she got her hand under the basketball and certainly cupped that. I think that's the right call.
So a turnover for Indiana. That is the 11th of the game for the Hoosiers. Only 14 points off those 11 turnovers for USC. Von Oelhoffen will initiate for the Trojans and give off to Howell. Right back to Von Oelhoffen, right wing. Garzone giving her a little room as Indiana now triple teams in the post with Iriafen. Iriafen tries to put up a shot. Garzone got a piece of it. It's out of bounds, and it will stay with the Trojans.
I'm impressed by Iriafen. She held on to that for that long and even had some idea of getting a shot up.
3:14 to go in the third quarter, 50-48 USC as Watkins handles the ball, penetrating the lane, leaning in on Moore McNeil, banks it in, and draws a foul.
Usually with one of those where you're jumping in to the defender, you're just kind of throwing up a prayer of a shot, but she had solid form on that, drew the contact from Moore McNeil and got it to go pretty cleanly.
Watkins is such a talented player that shots that look like prayers for other players
are normal,
are calculated shots for her.
That's a good way of putting it, Ian, and that's kind of what we've seen all season with her.
She's got every accolade, watch list, award in the books. Ranks 11th all-time in USC history in scoring, and she's only a sophomore, and she converts on the three-point play. 53-48, the Trojan lead with 3:06 to go in the third quarter as Bargesser looks to start Indiana's possession, uses a screen moving left from Striplin, and Garzone on the curl. Looking for Moore McNeil on the cut, can't find her. Moore McNeil in trouble, now driving free throw line, steps back on Iriafen. Nothing going for Indiana down low. Moore McNeil will back it out to Parrish, top of the key, 7 on the shot clock. Right back to Moore McNeil, passes up a deep three-point look, dribbles the ball off her foot, and it's taken away by Howell. Trojans coming the other way, drop-off pass to Von Oelhoffen. Nice pass inside to Smith on the baseline cut, and Smith puts it up and in for 2, and the Trojans now up 7. They've made 5 of their last 7 field goal attempts. Indiana scoreless in the last 2:33. Hoosiers down 7, 55-48. Bargesser driving her way in the lane, comes to a stop. Feed out to the right corner for Moore McNeil, who passes up a 3, gives down to the right block for Striplin, who takes a mid-range jumper and knocks it down. whistle on the floor, and the referee is speaking to Terry Morin and the Indiana bench, a delay of game warning.
That's the second now.
One for each team.
Yeah.
55-50 is the USC lead in the quarterfinals of the 2025 TIAA Big Ten Women's Basketball Tournament. Top-seeded Trojans against the 9-seeded Hoosiers, and the Trojans trying to escape this one, only leading by 5 with 2:05 to go in the third. Year one of the Curt Cignetti era of Indiana football was one to remember. There were some truly unforgettable moments, program-defining games, and atmospheres that Bloomington had never seen before. But time to move on and look at what is next. Now, this is a preseason top 25 team with high expectations. So as the Hoosiers look to build on the momentum in year two, let's break down what's in store. Everyone loves scoring points, and Indiana's 2024 offense did it better than nearly every team in the nation. Led by Curtis Rourke under center, the Hoosiers held the second highest scoring offense in the country at 41.3 points per game. Now this year it's going to look a little different. While some key players returned, some holes had to be filled. First, here's a look at the key departures. Indiana lost 7 of its 11 starters, including 5 All-Big Ten honorees. Now, most of these players were one-and-done rentals that saw an opportunity to hop on board for year one of the Cignetti era, but continuity is something this staff hopes to acquire in the coming seasons. Yes, it's safe to say Indiana lost a lot of talent offensively. It's also safe to say that the reload Cignetti staff put together aims to limit any drop-off. Let's start out with the most important position in all of sports. Welcome to Indiana, Fernando Mendoza. The 4th-ranked transfer quarterback available picked Indiana over Georgia and Miami. Yeah, Indiana football means business. He joins his brother Alberto in the quarterback room and features a big arm and much better mobility than what Indiana saw with Curtis Rourke last season. This past season at Cal, Mendoza threw for over 3,000 yards with 16 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Want to know what kind of guy Indiana is getting in Mendoza? Take a listen.
What will you remember most from this victory today?
I remember going 98 yards, my boys. 98 yards. At that moment, we told them, this is why we did the camping trip. This is why we did every Saturday walkthrough. This is why we stayed late until 9 p.m. watching film together. And so that meant so much to me to go 98 yards against a defense that's been playing great. And we ended up scoring in the clutch.
That's leadership, folks. Now let's move on to the running backs. The backfield will also look a little bit different than what you saw in 2024. The big additions come in transfers Roman Hemby from Maryland and Lee Beebe Jr. from UAB. The two combined for nearly 1,500 yards and 13 touchdowns last year. Kaylon Black and Kobe Martin headline the returners from 2024. There'll be another 1-2 punch with Hemby and Beebe Jr., much like Ellison and Lawton were in 2024. But don't count out Kaylon Black either. He's more than capable of carving out a role in this offense. On to the wideouts, and man, were they fun to watch last year. And lucky for you fans, the room looks largely the same coming into 2025. Elijah Surratt and Omar Cooper Jr. look to be one of the top duos in the conference. App State transfer Mekhi Jackson will step into the slot role coming off a 745-yard and 5-touchdown season. Also keep an eye on returners E.J. Williams and Charlie Becker and the speedy freshman LeBron Bond. With Michigan transfer Tyler Morris out for the year, Cignetti could reach back into the portal for some added depth as well. Mendoza will have no shortage of targets either way. Rounding out the offense with the tight ends and offensive line, here's a look at what to expect. With the tight ends, Holden Stays will be used as more of a receiving guy with that frame. Nowakowski and Bamba are your typical blocking guys that will be used mostly in the run game. Along the line, the portal was huge. The offensive line was really Indiana's biggest weakness in big games this past year, so beefing it up was important. The biggest thing to look at with these guys is size and experience. All 5 have significant experience at the Power 5 level and in big games. Also keep an eye on the portal throughout the offseason for depth additions in both groups. Depth charts and transfer additions will likely change a little bit, but that's a solid idea of what the offense will look like come August 30th. Now let's move to the other side of the ball. Indiana's 2024 defense was 7th in the country in opponent points per game and was a turnover machine. It retained some major pieces, but did lose a few as well. Here's a look. The biggest names on here, West, Carpenter, and Walker. All 3 of them Big Ten honorable mentions and real difference makers. Names you're not seeing on there, though, Aiden Fisher, Mikhail Kamara, and D'Angelo Pons. Indiana's 3 All-Americans from last year return for another year and are joined by some serious talent. We'll start in the trenches.